At the Justice for George Floyd protest was released on his own recognizance following a justice court hearing. According to Helena police, 48-year-old Daniel Edward Miller was the only person arrested at Sunday's rally. Police say they arrested him for impersonating a public servant, which is a felony. At around 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, protesters began lying down on North Montana Avenue for a die-in. Helena police blocked off the street to ensure safety. And according to court documents, Miller demanded the protesters move and at one point told them that he was a police officer and that they had to move. A plainclothes officer at the event reported hearing Miller identify himself as a police officer. Miller has denied doing that. We had a wild weekend of weather around here. To tell us if that's going to continue, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grabnitz.
Wild wind and wildfires. Wow, how about that fire south of Helena? We're going to have more on that coming up in just a second, but nice quiet start to the final week of spring. Had some sunshine earlier, but now the clouds and even some rain has been moving in. This is going to be the last storm of spring, and it's going to last most of the final week of spring. Not just rain though. Take a look at this. Yeah, adjust your eyes here after the weekend. That is a winter storm watch for elevations above about 5,000 feet. Some very heavy wet snow will be flying, both the rain and the snow certainly helping out with the wildfire situation. Lots of liquid on the Lump Gulch fire, which firefighters have certainly gotten a much better handle on than at times over the weekend. We'll talk more about the spring snow and the first weekend of summer. Summer arriving right on time. I'll have more on the forecast coming up.
Thanks for that, Curtis. And as Curtis just mentioned, the wildfire burning between Helena and Clancy hasn't grown much over the last day. Authorities estimate the Lump Gulch fire is still around 1,500 acres and now 15% contained. 2 outbuildings have been destroyed, and the weekend rain slowed the spread of the fire. Firefighters are now working their way around the perimeter. Hand crews, engines, and heavy equipment are working to create more secure containment lines. And leaders say the work has been time-consuming because of difficult terrain and a number of dangerous dead trees.
A lot of standing dead timber in the area, and it makes it much more difficult for our crews to access due to the threat of trees falling on them while they're working.
Leaders say they expect to get a better handle on the fire in the coming days, but you shouldn't be surprised if you see some smoke from inside the perimeter still burning. And the city of Helena is reminding residents not to do work on city-owned downed trees that were damaged by this weekend's wind. Damaged trees can be extremely dangerous. Now, damage and debris in city boulevards will be taken care of by city crews. Now, there may be a delay as crews do have a lot of work to do after the weekend. And the city will not collect debris from private trees. Those items should be taken to the transfer station and not placed in dumpsters or in the boulevard. To report down or damaged trees, call the number on the bottom of your screen, 406-447-8426. The American Red Cross has an urgent need for blood donations right now, and today they announced they would be testing their blood donations for COVID-19 antibodies. Now, according to the Red Cross, the coronavirus is not a blood-borne pathogen, meaning it will not transfer from one person to another through blood transfusions. All blood donated to the American Red Cross goes through several screenings, and a spokesperson for the organization in Helena says it's important to note that the test is not a diagnostic. It will not tell you if you have the coronavirus.
What an antibody test does is it tests the blood to see if your body has built up the antibodies to the disease. That doesn't necessarily mean you've been exposed to it or that you've had it, but just that your body has the antibodies in it. If you are found to have the antibodies in your system, then you can make the decision whether or not you want to look at donating convalescent plasma.
She went on to say that your plasma can be used to help those with coronavirus in their road to recovery. They're accepting drop-ins for blood donations right now, but they do prefer appointments, and all employees and donors are required to wear masks, and social distancing will be in place. Now, as some Montanans are struggling to get back to work, parents can also be struggling to afford to pay for clothing for their children. MTN's Phoenix O'Connor shares how Townsend Helping Hands for Kids is ready to help.
Sheila Haverlin is straightening the clothing rack at Helping Hands Townsend for Kids.
We have children's clothing from sizes 0 to 12, toys, shoes, bags.
Working hard, not getting a paycheck, keeping prices low so parents that are having a hard time making ends meet can afford to put clothes on their children's back and shoes on their feet. After the overhead costs of the thrift store are paid, leftover money is put aside.
So that if people in the community have trouble making their rent payment or paying their water bill or something like that, they can come to us and request funds.
The funds from selling gently used donations have added up.
Given back to the community over $38,000 just in the proceeds of selling other people's leftovers.
The new shop itself is only a few months old after the faith-based group made a leap to expand, while most businesses were living in uncertainty.
Even though it was in the middle of the shutdown for COVID, we felt that God was telling us to expand our ministry by taking this place on.
Giving parents the opportunity to buy toys who would otherwise not afford it.
It's been a great mission.
In Townsend, I'm Phoenix O'Connor, MTN.
Still ahead on the news at 6, we'll check in with the Helena Food Share as they continue to help feed the community. But first, let's congratulate our 2020 grads.
A lot of people are looking into online mortgages, and this is what folks are saying.
They hurried us.
Well, and they misquoted the rate.
I started getting mortgage robocalls after only one conversation.
You never know if you're dealing with a loan expert or some kid out of high school.
All communication stops dead in its tracks the minute you sign the closing documents.
And that's why we work with experienced people we know, who treat us with the respect we deserve.
More than 70,000 people die from drug abuse in a year. 7.5 million people work more than one job to make ends meet. Human trafficking is a $32 billion industry in the U.S. On a single night, over 500,000 people are homeless in the U.S. Together, with thousands of corporate partners and millions of donors and volunteers, United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Together, in a year, we help more than 3 million people get health care services and support, and over 1 million people get on the path to financial stability. We help more than 2 million at-risk teens with out-of-school programs and individualized support, and over 500,000 people get back on their feet with job skills training. These are the faces of change. You can be one too.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. Join KTVH in our Congrats to Grads. Each day, KTVH will showcase members of the graduating class of 2020 all across Helena. Visit ktvh.com/grads and upload a picture of your graduating student with their name and school. Then watch during every KTVH newscast for our Congrats to Grads.
Sponsored by Silver City Stone Cabinetry and Tile and Square One Construction.
You're watching the news at 6.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for spending some time with us here tonight. We here at MTN and the Helena Food Share are encouraging people who are able to help make sure everyone in the community has food on their table. Since June 1st, Helena Food Share has raised more than $35,000, and that includes the $12,000 donation from MTN and the Scripps Family Impact Fund. But FoodShare says food insecurity will still be a real issue for many families because of COVID-19. Since mid-March, the food pantry has seen hundreds of new families, and they're averaging more than 5,000 pounds of food distributed each day. Now, they can't accept food donations right now, so the best way to help is with a monetary donation.
It really will help us with being able to purchase the kinds of foods that we need to be able to bring in here to make sure that we have the staple food items. It'll definitely go far and have an impact on a number of families in the community.
Helena FoodShare will once again distribute boxes of fresh produce from regional farmers and ranchers through the USDA Farmers to Families program. Now, that program is for everyone. People can pick up their boxes at the 1616 Lewis Street Pantry on Tuesday from 10 in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now with a look at our weather, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
Wicked wind, a lot of damage across the area. Anybody else have a tree fall on their car while they're driving? This is a friend in Yellowstone National Park. Everybody's okay, but parts of the tree actually went through the windshield. I'll have more on this week's weather coming up next.
Weather-Wise is brought to you by Top Gun Auto Body, where good enough just isn't good enough.
You know, when you really think about it, Top Gun Auto Body's 3 shops in one. Our top-notch towing service, Top Gun Recovery, is always here day or night to help. Got a chip, a crack, full-on smash? Call our Top Gun Auto Glass experts. Need body repair after a collision or crash? Maybe you need that old barn find restored to its former glory. That's what we do at Top Gun Auto Body. And when you choose us, 5% of all profits go to the Heroes of Helena Car Fund. Top Gun Auto Body, where good enough isn't good enough.
There's a lot of loving cats and dogs in our community, like these guys. We'll introduce you to them every Friday during our Pet of the Week.
Sponsored by Alpine Animal Clinic.
R&R Pump, dealer of Husqvarna lawnmowers and string trimmers. It's time to take control of your yard. What a better way to do so than with an all-wheel drive, self-propelled mower from R&R Pump. We sell Husqvarna products for a reason. They're ergonomic, innovative, and built to last. Not to mention, we're the only store in Helena with certified Husqvarna mechanics, and we service what we sell. Locally owned, family run since 1985, R&R Pump.
I quit smoking for the simple reason my son had quit, and I didn't like that he had started anyway because I was smoking. He kind of followed in my footsteps. He reversed it. He quit smoking, and I decided I needed to quit smoking. It's actually kind of funny. I can afford to do things that I dreamed about doing because I'm not looking for my next cigarette. I've been able to buy a bike, get back into riding, work out. I do a lot more hiking. I don't just sit at home smoking cigarettes thinking about it. I'm out doing it. I told my son, I says, you know, you set the example. Thank you.
I love you too, Nana. When older adults live alone, it can lead to loneliness. But checking in is simply a call, letter, or lunch date away. Keep the conversation going from one generation to the next. The more you know.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up!
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent John Miller in Helena today.
Strategic marketing solutions for your business. Call Rachel today.
Time now for your Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
Welcome back. The Lump Gulch wildfire south of Helena behaved more like a blaze in the middle of summer. In this week's Weather-Wise, the weather conditions and several other factors contributed to this early season fire. Wildland firefighters say Montana is only ever a couple of weeks away from fire season. The Lump Gulch fire south of Helena is a large wildfire early in the season. Precipitation for the year and for the month of June have been near average, with several days of showery weather leading up to the start of the fire on Saturday. Fire weather conditions were more similar to a day in mid-August than mid-June. Saturday afternoon, temperatures in the area were in the mid to upper 80s. Humidity values bottomed out around 8 to 9%, and then of course there was that hellacious wind that caused widespread damage in the area. Wind speeds were sustained between 20 and 50 miles per hour, with some gusts exceeding 60 miles per hour. These weather conditions easily met red flag warning criteria. Also contributing to the rapid development of this fire was the high concentration of beetle-killed trees in the area. This is a region firefighters have worried about for years and have recently been working on fire mitigation in the area. Hot and dry weather with a violent south wind pushing flames up a hillside full of dead fuel. Even though everything is green and the weather had been wet, this is a reminder of how quickly the winds of change can occur. I'm meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz, and now you're a little more weather-wise. That wind was the worst. We saw everything over the course of the weekend. Of course, the wind had some thunderstorms, had hail, had that wildfire, and now snow is in the forecast for the higher elevations. Probably won't see it here. 64 with increasing clouds around the Capitol, increasing clouds. Kind of cool wave-like pattern in the clouds out there around Great Falls. 66 southwest winds gusting up to 33 miles per hour, not 60 and 70 miles per hour like we saw at times over the weekend. A little warmer the farther east you go, where there is more sun, and there you can see the wind. It's out there, but again, nothing like what we saw on Saturday. There's the latest from the Lump Gulch fire. Helena, Clancy, Lump Gulch right there. Containment at about 15%. Still smoldering a little bit here, but with rain and maybe even a little snow in this area here, I think we're going to see the last of the Lump Gulch fire. Plus, still have a whole bunch of firefighters and crew working that fire. But look how much of southwestern Montana is going to see some snow. Above 5,000 feet are under this winter storm watch. Butte, America, remember, had 7, 8, 9 inches of snow just a week ago. Likely seeing more snow, not for Helena, but for the higher terrain around Helena. We will likely see some snow, and again, above 5,000 feet, 2 to 8 inches above 6,500 feet. There could be 20 inches of snow here. Another late spring snowstorm producing a little bit of some rain now spilling over the Continental Divide, but this is just the leading edge of a pretty big system that will be affecting us tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, even into Friday, and a lot of the country looking pretty dry right now. So here's what will happen. Mainly just light rain tonight. There may be a couple of isolated thunderstorms. Even tomorrow, we're not talking a severe outbreak of thunderstorms here, just more in the way of some steady rain and high mountain snow here tomorrow. But as we go through Tuesday evening, we may get a couple of storms out into eastern Montana, but Tuesday evening, Tuesday night, that's when colder air will work into the system, and that's when the snow levels will lower. If you travel over McDonald Pass, Rogers Pass, Boulder Hill here coming up on Wednesday morning, you may encounter some slushy conditions on the road. Some solid rain, Havre, Great Falls in the Helena Valley all the way through Wednesday, with more rain Thursday and Friday as well. So this is going to be a significant rainmaker here, with many locations, maybe even more than a half inch of rain. Some places could see about an inch to an inch and a half of rain. Look at this, by Wednesday, an inch of rain, Great Falls, close to that in Helena and Butte. Some of that in Butte will be snow. Snow forecast, there you can see the precipitation into really the higher terrain of southwestern Montana, although there may be some snow up the Continental Divide and then also out in the Little Belts and the Big Belts as well. Tonight, some rain showers, temperatures in the 40s and the 50s throughout a lot of the area. Here's the forecast for tomorrow. Low pressure moving in, cloudy skies, some rain, a few rumbles of thunder, but again, not a severe weather outbreak here. Some thunderstorms into eastern Montana. Wednesday is the day where we'll see more widespread rain, colder temperatures. Look at Bozeman, Butte, Dillon, West Yellowstone, all in the 40s for highs. And again, mountain passes could be a little slushy on Wednesday morning. Thursday, a little sunshine mixed in there, but we still will have widespread showers for most of the day. And then here's the final day of spring, looking spring-like, 60s and 70s with, again, some rain showers, but there will be more sunshine. Then heading into Saturday, the first day of summer, it's like, summer arrives right on time. 77 degrees, mostly sunny. Father's Day on Sunday. 85 for the dads out there. And for Great Falls, a rainy, cool period here this week, and then we flip the switch for the first weekend of summer. Looking pretty nice.
Looking forward to that. Thanks a lot, Curtis. And coming up, we're heading back to the gym as today marks the first day students can get back in the weight room ahead of the start of fall sports.
Montanans are independent. We're also responsible, protective, and committed to our families and communities. That's why we've done so well against COVID-19. As we open up, we've got to keep doing what we do best. And it starts with each and every one of us. Protecting public health in the 406 for our families, friends, and neighbors. We all have to do our part. Montanans get that. And we've got this.
Our pets bring so much joy into our lives. They're always there for us, which is why we strive to provide them with the best care available. Dr. Jordan Huey has been practicing since 2007 and has specialized skill sets in dentistry, oral surgery, and oral pathology. Whether short or tall, big or small, you can find the best possible care, keeping families together longer at Alpine Animal Clinic.
As governor, I've worked to do what's right for all Montanans, not just one party or point of view. And I'm going to keep working for you every day until my term is done next January. And after that, if you give me the chance to serve as your senator, I can tell you this: I won't answer to party bosses and won't take a dime from corporate PACs. I'll work with both parties to do what's right for Montana. I'm Steve Bullock, and I approve this message.
Has your time at home left you wondering, maybe it's time for a change? Whether your window coverings need an update or your closet is out of control, home beautifiers can help. Get inspired by our window coverings or closet organizers. Give us a call today.
The groovy 70s. Disco was the craze. Gas cost 60 cents. Jimmy Carter was president. And Mike Cooney was running for office. No wonder Mike Cooney opposes term limits. He's a career politician and a government bureaucrat who has never had a real job. But while living off the taxpayers, Cooney supported higher taxes for Montana families, including hiking the gas tax and registration fees on our vehicles. Mike Cooney for governor? Not groovy.
Selfie. Nailed it.
You're watching the news at 6.
Welcome back, everybody. I think it's safe to say it's been a long and strange end to the school year, but starting today, high school athletes were able to get back to work. MTN's Sam Hoyle shares why teams are welcoming these workouts.
2020 has been different, that's for sure. But on June 15th,